Welcome to the audio commentary for episode 12, WrestleFest. In case you went around in the 80s and 90s, when arcade games were in demo mode, they would flash that little symbol telling you not to do drugs. And I guess it told you not to do drugs. Tom's the one who came up with putting wrestler quotes in there. And I have nothing to do with that. That was all Tom. I tried to think of them on occasion and cannot come up with a thing. So that is all Tom.
WrestleFest, also known as God's greatest gift to his children.
Hey, Damien Sandow. This is by far the most popular episode we've done. I think we just cracked 30,000 views for this, which is, I think the next most popular one is Revenge, which is over 20,000. So this one's popped up all sorts of places. It's been on Bleacher Report. Whenever someone just posts, hey, check this video series out, this is one they usually post because this is, I imagine, everyone's favorite retro wrestling game.
Trust me, I barely remember what I did last week.
I can't remember who won that. I think I was waiting for royalties for Vern Gagne. But you can go check that out a lot easier than I.
But Technos took the big leap forward from Superstars and improved on its predecessor in every way. Let us recount them. First, the roster increased from 6 to a mighty 10.
This one was very easy to write. Like, sometimes when I play a video game, I have early thoughts in my head. I go and play. Maybe I find interesting details. And, I work on it over a couple days. This one I just sat down and wrote the script because, unlike a lot of these games, I played WrestleFest on a pretty normal basis here. So it's pretty easy to remember what I liked, didn't like. Not that there was a lot to not like.
But there are so many awesome guys you really don't notice. The graphics look great. Wrestlers are huge and well-defined, plus they fix the proportion of the ring. Also, they threw in the Saturday Night's Main Event logos for the wrestlers. The sound really shines. Not only does Mike McGurk do ring introductions,
now there was someone said the commentator, who we'll hear in a second, was possibly Sean Mooney. I thought it was just a random guy. Let's listen. I don't think that's supposed to be anyone in particular, but if you disagree, let me know in the comments, and I'm sure you will.
The gameplay follows a traditional grappling system. You lock up with an opponent, and whoever punches the other 2 times first does the move. The game doesn't let you choose what move you do.
It's funny, at the end I stumped for a re-release of WrestleFest, which we actually ended up getting, although it was just an iOS version for phones and whatnot, meaning you had to touch the screen to use the controls, which does not work well with a button masher. And it's funny, I think people I think mostly jokingly, give me shit about it, like, hey, look what you did when you called for WrestleFest and we got a crappy game. Some people may think I was responsible for it. I'll state right now for the record, I was not. But I would still love to see a remake of some sort on Xbox Live. I still think it's a really simple idea. That if you just did like a $5 version on Xbox Live or Steam or whatever, people would be all over it, but I said modes clearly on that. I know what Tom's talking about here.
They added a few tweaks this time.
I remember Tom actually saw a copy of WrestleFest somewhere that he was, I think, doing commentary for a show, and there was a version out there too. I haven't seen one. God, I remember. I ran across a Royal Rumble pinball game. I actually have a picture of me playing somewhere on vacation, like 5 years ago, but that's about it for retro wrestling games I've seen.
That's it. No climbing or ramming your opponent's skull into the steel.
Yeah, I always felt the cage match was a waste. You couldn't like jump off the top or have to climb out. It was just, hey, you can't throw guys into the ropes, or you can, you just slam into the cage.
Let's hear what they have to say.
I think I used Gerbil Face Geeks as one of my fantasy football team names. I do believe. I think I made that joke, and then I ended up using it.
Hey, if you're looking for a fantasy football team name, you could do worse than Gerbil Face Geeks.
There you go.
Anyway, they're real tough. Not only do they have twice the energy you do, they can perform the Doomsday device, which will sap all your energy and give you your full power.
That's what happens sometimes, where I see something happen and it just doesn't happen for Tom. So you just use your imaginations. I'm sure you've seen it. It's very disheartening to lose all your energy.
Tossing guys over the top is pretty tough, so they added this to keep things moving. Those 2 guys can dogpile on another to get a pinfall, which is always pretty funny. Also, wrestlers enter the match
I think we
gets eliminated.
constantly worked over who would go in.
Even though it's an arcade game,
Let's see, who would go in the new WrestleFest game? You have to, let's see, Cena, Orton, Punk, Daniel Bryan, Big Show. Let's see. I don't know. I think the final bosses should be all 3 members of the Shield. You have to fight them 3 on 2. That would be great. God damn, I should be programming this game.
You'll get backdropped out and your game's over in 5 seconds. If you're playing with friends, you can actually make a comeback if another player.
I remember the first time I played this with my friends, I got tossed out in the Royal Rumble, then I just came right back in because I put in a quarter.
I've seen Royal Rumble matches go as long as,
which was unfair and not how it's supposed to be, but there you go.
That really pushes this game over the top. It's one thing to have Ted DiBiase in the game with the $1 Million Dream. It's another to give him the power slam fist drop.
Let's see, we may see.
Warrior has a gorilla press diving.
Well, think about it like Hogan, Jake, possibly Warrior. No, Hogan, Warrior, and oh god, I'm screwing this up. Ultimate Warrior is going in the Hall of Fame. We just saw Jake the Snake when this video came out, and the Hulkster's rumored to come back. So, yeah, still pretty relevant here. Fortunately, several members of the roster have deceased, which is too bad. But
if you do go down the dark road and emulate the game, there are codes to play as the LOD. It gets confusing when you get to the championship match.
Yeah, I'm morally reprehensible. I can't argue that.
Once again, the computer can pose and you can't.
I wonder if that link still works.
The outfit changes from superstars. Granted, Jake Perfect and Warrior are the only ones who ever really.
I disagree with Tom on this too. I'm very interested in what you're allowed to wear in wrestling games.
Hey WWE, you're sitting on a gold.
He's the one who makes Glee jokes. Who's he to talk?
Care about this game. So shut down your poker site.
You still have that poker site?
Magazines, and come out with a WrestleFest with an updated roster. Put it online and charge $2 a month to play it. I would gladly pay that, as would a ton of other people.
I don't know, a subscription-based service for the WWE. I don't think that's ever going to take off.
With online play, or at least an iPhone app or something. Until next time, thanks for watching, and remember, a winner is you.
Sure is. Alright, that's going to do it here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for 50 great episodes. I was still stunned we did 1. But thanks so much for watching, and you all have a nice day. I wonder what that surprise was. I have no idea. I forgot. I missed that website. That's still there. And you should still support pro wrestling. Alright, bye everyone!